Hi, I'm Kat, and hey guys, it's just like I'm just excited to share with you because this is it. Okay, so I put it out before one time, only probably a few of you saw it, but some of my friends saw it, but now I rewrote it, I re-edited it, I had a professional editor help me with it, and it's finally here, the book and the cards, the resonance codes. And I'm really excited about this book. I really am. It's something that, I mean, if you knew me, you'd probably be like not too surprised that I wrote it, but at the same time, like for me, it was like kind of out of the blue. It just wrote itself and I couldn't stop. Like once I started, sort of universe just pushed me forward and it just was like, don't stop, don't stop. And even when I had to go back and re-edit the book because I got my first copies in the mail and there was just mistakes and there was things that I wasn't happy with and there was whole chapters that had to just be completely redone so that I could feel really proud of this. So let me tell you a little bit about the resonance codes. Let me just show you a little bit about the book. Okay, so it's a harmonic alignment technique. So the book itself, in the first half of the book, there's two sections in the first half, and the first section just tells you how I built the codes, like what's in the codes. And I'll tell you this, and so I'm going to go ahead and pull out the cards so that way we can talk about it more in specifics. But overall, and then the second half, and then the second section of the first half of the book is how to do the technique. So there's a little technique that's super simple. It's really great. It's based on kinesiology and it works really simply to help to harmonize and align yourself with what I believe are the resonant frequencies that govern this incarnation of the earth on the 3D plane and within the cosmos. So where it all started was my, work with the Resonance Science Center and really being interested in sacred geometry. And so if you kind of look at the cards, like they were based originally on the 5 Plutonic solids. So like here is the water, this is earth. And each one of these sacred geometric shapes holds within it and governs certain aspects of our experience in our life, our path, and our humanness on this journey. So like this is the tetrahedron. You can see it there. And so these are the cards that go with the book, and there's 9 sacred resonances. And the reason that there's 9 is because 9 is a gift to humanity. And this was, I don't know, my small way of just trying to help humanity on its path to healing. Okay, so the first half, that's the first half, kind of tells all about that. Like, so it goes through, so I'm just going to kind of flip through. I don't know how to do this, but flip through like all the beautiful pictures in here. I've put so many pictures in the book that have to do with the resonance. There's the chapters. The Plutonic solids. So this shows you sort of a diagram of the different shapes that are involved in the Plutonic solids. And then the how to do the codes, right? And then each of the 9 in the second half of the book. So we'll just kind of skip along. I'm just going to kind of do this. Okay. So you can see like how I talk about the yin yang, which is the female and the male aspect, or the positive and the negative, or the dark and the light. That aspect is sort of wound through most of the codes in some way or form, and they're But then there's some that are really divine feminine, and some that are very strong in the divine masculine, and some that balance the yin and the yang. So then we have the section, well, section 3, I guess you call it, but the middle section, which is actually the cards, and they're laid out in the book. Isn't this lovely? So see how the cards are laid out in the book so that you can, you don't have to have the cards to do the technique. You could use the book. So I really love that. And then the fourth section is an exploration of the resonance codes, and each card has a whole chapter, right? Like you would expect, right? So this is, the Earth chapter. It talks about, different shapes that are square. On the first page of every chapter, it has a list, and on this list are, I made this list for healers, but yogis and massage therapists and anybody who works with the general public, counselors and chiropractors, people who like to have just like a quick reference list of, what shape, what sound, what numbers, what colors, what are the emotions, what are the meridians. So it has a list of the meridians that go with that code. It has a list of the body. So I go pretty deep because I'm a functional nutritionist as well. So like for the body of the Earth, it's the groin, the sex organs, the legs, the feet, muscles, the blood sugar, insulin production, indigestion or acid reflux, emaciation, which is like when you're not putting on weight, or you can be like super overweight and be incredibly emaciated. It's where you're actually not absorbing nutrition into your body. Illnesses are illnesses from fears and frights, diabetes, upset stomach, weak arches, frailty, instability, anxiety, insomnia, addiction, mood swings, headaches. And then the taste is sweet. The foods are root vegetables, meats, cooked foods. I also include herbs, treatments like chiropractic, structural oriented body work. So not just any chiropractic, but generally deep and slow body work or earthing movements. And then I also include yoga postures. Of course, yoga, like in general, is going to kind of help everything. So it's not fully specific, but there are definitely ones that are going to really, really open up or move energy in the area that we're talking about in the body. And then I have a whole chapter here where we talk about gravity, for example. Life is supporting you, and how are we loving life back? Like, can we be in that place of reciprocation with life, or are we feeling like we're not supported? Earth is about supporting us, right? Where do we get our food, our water, our clothes, our real safety? And I'm a big, proponent of spiritual, divine relationship. Or God, if whatever you call that you want to call that. But I'm a really big into that. But I'm also really understand that often we associate with the male heavenly father aspects of different archetypes, if you will. So like for the earth, that earth actually is the earth is feminine. It actually supplies all of this body's physical needs, right? So we can pray, but we also want to involve, this gratitude and this prayer to earth, because earth, is what's going to really support us on this walk in this body. And so, just sort of broadening our idea of God is, and allowing these other archetypes to be a part of that wholeness of divinity that we are working with. Okay, so that is let's see. So we talk a little bit about how to earth. What is grounding? What is, I love my interpretation. I've been doing massage therapy for almost 30 years. And so grounding is like something that is super important as a massage therapist. And I think for many of us who've had early trauma and different things, that groundedness and can get interrupted. And so I give you some great, really simple ways to ground, teach you a little bit about earthing if you haven't learned about that, talk a little bit about the soul's entry into the body, and a little bit about soul retrieval and trauma, because early trauma and that soul enter into the body can become fragmented, or if there's a lot of fear early on, the soul can linger in ways where it doesn't feel safe all the way in the body. And so working with that a little deeper, I give some ideas of ways to do that, and then talking a little more deeply about structural integrity and how that plays a role in this physical walk on Earth. So I'm just kind of like, I'm going to go back because I'm just going to go through one chapter because they're all kind of similar-ish, meaning they all have the list at the beginning. Of course, the answers to the list are going to be different. And then the pictures will be different, which I tried to add just so many beautiful pictures. And then you have your power words and power questions. And, all of the chapters are designed to really, through words and pictures and ideas and concepts, to sort of bring us into the fullness of what this code means. How it governs in this world, what the aspects of it are, and maybe just sort of put us in a space where we get that code around us, through us, in us, and that we can really do it. But, power words, so for Earth is like, my mind is calm and relaxed. I let go of my thinking mind. I'm safe in this moment. I feel at home in my body. I'm at home with all emotions, sensations, feelings, even with intense feelings. I'm completely supported by the ground. Life supports me. Mother Earth loves me. I am safe. I'm secure. I trust life to support me. I am part of the earth. I love that I am part of the system. The elements of nature love me. I love nature. The flow of nature moves through me. I allow nature to support me. Power questions. For example, how has nature supported me today? What is supporting me in this moment? And the way to use the power questions, I'm just like reading through them, and the power words is, and I teach this in the chapter on how to use the codes, but it's for sure to especially with the questions, like my sense is that you would read one and really try to go deep. So I'm not I'm really all about helping people to get to the psyche layers that are deeper within us, and so that we can really heal into areas of us that may be shadow, or maybe hard for us to see, or maybe we've become dissociated from. And so taking that time with each question, really reading the chapter and being fresh and new and curious with it when it comes up for you, that's up for you, will take you each time kind of on this journey. We might read through it one time and really get this piece, but then, and then we just get this deeper and deeper layer. And so that's the whole purpose of this book is kind of to take us on that journey. And it's not necessarily to be read from cover to cover at one time, because it's the technique. So just kind of like quickly then go through how the rest of the book is laid out. Again, like I said, each chapter from there on in is just one of the codes, and it has on the first part like a reference of all the different aspects of it that I put in. Now, I know that there's aspects I've left out because they weren't something that I particularly had a deep enough knowledge to write about. Like, for example, I really feel like, and I'm working with an astrologer now who I hope may come on board and help me to add the astrological element. I know I could have just grabbed it from the internet, but because it's not something that I've studied deeply, I just didn't feel comfortable putting it in. But like the whole purpose of this whole thing, like, is like, if you read at the beginning, it's like, my purpose is to create synchronicity and delight. It's like, this is fun. This is not serious. I mean, yeah, I really do feel like these codes really have helped me, and I am praying and hoping that they will help you every day. Like, because you can do the technique really quickly with the cards and just balance, and boom, you're done, and or you can go really deep. But the main thing is to play with it. It's fun. It's like, it brings up this whole archetype of energy that you get to explore within your psyche, within your life, within your incarnation, within your walk with earth, with the elements, and with other people. This is very much a relationship oriented book as well. So because I believe and my coaching is around relationships, like, I believe that the relationships that we are creating are our spiritual path. And so I really hope that you approach the book as well from how this work applies to your relationships. Because it's inside your relationships, at least I believe, that it's inside of your relationships where your path is unfolding and where your opportunity for the most growth lies. We can do a lot of inner work, and I get it. We all have to dig in there, and it's a balance. But at the end of the day, I am of the school of thought that most of us aren't going to get there just by going in and fixing it. We have to do it out there. And when we do it out there within the other relationships, that's when the magic happens. That's when the real healing happens. It doesn't actually, we say that there's no healing when we work on ourselves, because we have to keep going in and then keep coming out, right? We do the work here so that we can be out there in a more effective and balanced way. So this book is very much about relationships, about healing relationships, about digging into what's really available inside of our relationships so that we can really get the spiritual development that's being offered to us through them. So, just so that you know that, because I think it's super important to me, and it was definitely in here. Okay, so just like going to skip around here, but I'm going to show you like one of my favorite codes is the Shri Yantra. This is code number 8. It is the balance, right, of female and male with the 3 upward and 4 downward facing triangles. It balances, but it clears the space. So if we have formlessness, which is like out there in the ether, like everything that is undifferentiated potential energy, and it just exists sort of beyond anything, any form. And then as that form comes in and is coming into existence inside the 3D world, This code clears it. This code helps that form to harmonize and balance so that we are not fighting too hard, working too hard, exhausted too much, too passive, too aggressive, too this or too that. It just is, where is the balance? And so this card, and so like, for example, you could take the card, this card, because it also clears like DNA. So like I have a genetic condition, and honestly, like I haven't worked with it enough because I've been writing the book and writing all the cards. But now that I have, the codes here and I can relax a little bit, like just putting it around my eyes, like every day for 5 minutes, like letting that shape. And I know it just seems like a card, and there, how can it affect the space around it from a card? But the energy is in here, and even the picture of it, even the thought of it, has a potential, has the essence of it in it. So you can actually take this card, put it underneath water, and it will change the genetic or so the molecular pattern of the water, how it clumps together. And this has actually been proven in, well, proven might be going a bit too far, but it has been shown, in researched, and they have seen the changes under microscopes from just putting, not my cards, but other similar types of things inside of, around other types of things around water, so, and I talk about that in the book, and I give you some examples, and I tell you like where on YouTube to go and see those videos or learn more about it, and read, books that might tell you more. A lot of you guys are probably already know all about Emoto's work around water, so it's fascinating. So what else? Well, for now, so I'm going to just wind up at the Divine Masculine, the Tree of Life. In the book, I go through how this develops, what it is, and just quite a bit more about this incredible seed that goes into the tree that creates our entire universe. And in the end, it's the undifferentiated potential. It is God. In some form or fashion, it's all God, but I think that this really represents the Divine Masculine, this potential of energy that's just out there for us to bring forth through us. And it's the force, not us. So aligning with that through surrendering to, or even just allowing, finding the blocks to that. As Marianne Williamson would say, where am I blocking the receiving? Because in relationship to the Divine Masculine, we are feminine, all of us, even if you're masculine. So consider that you are an opening to allowing that. And wherever you're not open, wherever you're resistant, wherever you're challenged in some kind of way, then that's an area where your receivership may not be, where you can work, where you can just bring the breath. It's that simple, really. It's just bringing the breath of life. So there's so much more I will share with you about these codes and the coming days. And I really am excited because it's up on Amazon, and if you guys will go review it or read it or buy it, just have fun with it and let it inspire you to find your creativity, move towards your delight and synchronicity, follow the synchronicity, follow things that turn you on and make you happy, and trust that is showing you the divine path. So bliss arises when you're in alignment with the divine. and the divine within the heart. When the words are coming out from your heart and your soul, when it's all together in harmonic alignment, then we have access to all the parts of us, and we have available to us what's necessary in every single moment of life to show up and to be our best selves, to be our most loving selves. That's what it's all about, and I appreciate you listening this long. So yeah, go get the book. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon. Bye.